My name is Nestle Cicerone. First name Nesley. Last name Ciceron.
Thank you for your prompt position. Thank you very much. Please proceed. Good morning, Mr. Cicerone.
Good morning.
Could you tell us where you are currently residing
At Orange County Jail.
and how long have you been there?
Nearly 3 years.
Do you remember the date you got arrested?
December 11th,
Of 2012.
12.
Okay. Do you know Bessman Okafor?
Yes.
How did you know him back in 2012? What was your relationship?
School and I'd have known him from out of high school and just, being around the neighborhood.
Okay. How many years do you think you had known him at that point?
At that point, probably over 4 years, maybe.
He was a friend of yours back then?
Yes.
Did you know a person by the name of Emmanuel Wallace?
Yes, I knew of him.
And how did you know him?
Through Okafor.
And was he a friend of Mr. Okafor's?
Correct.
Was he also a friend of yours, would you say, or what?
An acquaintance rather than a friend.
So he was Mr. Okafor's friend, not so much your friend.
Correct.
And was there another person that you knew of by the name of Donnell Godfrey?
Yes. Yes.
And what was your relationship with him?
More of an associate who played basketball.
Okay. Did he also know Mr. Okafor?
Correct.
All right. And what about Sharia Gordon? Is that somebody you knew?
Yes.
And how did you know her?
She has children with Okafor.
All right. Let me take you back to September of 2012. Were you in school at that time, or what were you doing?
Yes.
What school were you in?
Valencia.
And what were you studying at that point?
Computer engineering.
Where were you living at that time?
5806 Judy D. Drive.
Let me take you back. Were you aware back in September that Mr. Okafor had been arrested previously for a home invasion robbery?
Yes.
And were you aware that he was on home confinement?
Yes.
Were you aware that he had an electronic monitor?
Correct.
Were you aware that the trial of that case was coming up soon?
No, I really didn't know when his. I knew he had a trial that year, but I didn't know the exact timing.
Okay, but you knew it was coming up
Correct.
at some point. Did Mr. Okafor ever express to you any concerns about how things were going with that case?
Yes.
What did he say?
Things that they offered him a plea deal. He didn't want to take it, and he's going to take it to court, and that the witness were going to testify against him.
All right. Did he say anything about his lawyer or anything? About not being happy with his lawyer?
He was unhappy with his current lawyer, so I told him he needs to get a private attorney.
He got a public defender?
Correct.
All right, so he was not happy with his public defender.
Correct.
You suggested to him.
Get a private attorney.
Okay, and that would cost some money, right?
Correct.
Okay. Let me take you back now to the night this happened. You know what we're talking about, right?
Correct.
That night, September 9th, going into September 10th, where were you sleeping that night?
Home.
At home, at Judy D. Drive.
Correct.
And did you know where Mr. Okafor lived at that point?
He was residing with his older sister, Takithia.
And about how far away from your house is that?
Driving distance, approximately 5 minutes.
All right, so it's pretty close.
Yes.
So you're asleep now in your house in Judy G. Drive, right?
Correct.
Anybody else in that house with you at that point?
My friend Tony Nelson.
And was he a roommate of yours, or he was just staying over that night?
He was just staying over. Earlier that evening, we was at my brother's house watching a football game, so he didn't want to drive all the way back home, so he just stayed there.
And you had a bedroom?
Correct.
And was Tony in a different bedroom?
Correct.
When you went to sleep that night, were you expecting anything to happen the next day?
No.
All right, so you go to sleep, and does something happen to wake you up?
Yes.
What happens to wake you up?
Okafor.
What happens?
He knocks on my door, and then he asking me that he implied that he needed help.
He says what?
He implied that he needed assistance.
Told you you needed help?
Correct.
Okay.
When I don't remember the exact wording, but he implied that he needed assistance.
Okay. And did he want you to do something?
Yes.
What did he tell you? What did he want you to do?
He wanted me to go with him and just look out.
So did you do that?
Yes.
And did Mr. Okafor hand you anything at that point?
Tony Nelson's car keys.
You know where they had been?
No. I assumed they were on Tony Nelson, but I don't know where his keys were, but he handed me the keys.
All right, so somehow he had Tony Nelson's keys.
Correct.
You think they might have been on a counter or something?
Yeah, maybe.
All right, in any event, he gives you Tony Nelson's keys. Did you have a car yourself at that point?
No, at that point, prior to that, I sold my car.
All right, so when Tony Nelson was at your house, he had a car.
Correct.
And do you remember what kind of car that was?
A white Ford Taurus.
And was that parked out in front of your house?
Yes.
All right. So Mr. Okafor hands you the keys, tells you to come with him.
Yes.
And did you do that?
Yes.
So what happened? You walked outside the house with Mr. Okafor?
Correct.
What did you do then?
I get in Tony Nelson's car, and he gets in his sister's car.
His sister
Takithia's car.
You remember anything about that car?
It's a white Chevy Malibu. I think it was a 2012 Malibu.
All right. Do you remember any particular damage or anything to that car?
Just the door handle on the driver's side.
All right. Something wrong with the door handle? It was missing a door handle?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In that car, the Malibu was what color?
White.
All right. So you get into Tony Nelson's car, which you say is a white Ford Taurus?
Correct.
And what do you do?
We head down.
Well, let me ask you first. Did you know where you were going?
No.
Okay. So how do you
Oh, he
where to
just
go?
says follow him.
Okay.
So we head down. Is that Power? No, not Powers.
Oh, you start driving.
Yeah, Hastings. Yeah, we started driving, head down Hastings. Now we're on Silver Star Road, and headed down away from downtown towards Ocoee on Silver Star Road, and the gas gauge comes on, indicating it needs gas.
In Tony Nelson's car.
Correct.
Okay.
So I speed up, and now we're parallel to one another. He rolls down the window, and I tell him the car needs gas. And then once we're on the window, that's when I see Sharia in the passenger side.
Up until then, you didn't know Sharia was there?
No.
Okay.
Prior to that, no. And then we went to the Kangaroo gas station near the old ninth grade center.
Near the Evans 9 grade?
Yes.
Okay. And is that a Marathon gas station, do you know?
Yes.
Okay. So do both cars pull into that gas station?
Correct.
And that's up on Silver Star, right?
Yes.
What happens when you get to the gas station?
I stay in my car, and then Sharia gets out. She goes, pays for the gas, put gas in the car. Then after that, we leave.
All right, so you put gas in the car?
Correct.
In your Ford Taurus. Does Okafor put in some gas too? Do you?
Yes.
Okay, so you both get some gas, and then what happens?
He pulls out, I follow. We get back on Silver Star, make a left on Good Home Road. From Good Home Road, we go through the little neighborhood and meet up and we're at White Road at this abandoned house.
Okay. Now, up until that point, you didn't really know where you were going until you got there. Is that right?
Correct.
Show you this has been Mark State's Exhibit 15 for identification.
Yes.
What car is that?
Takita Ruffin's car.
That's the Malibu that Mr. Okafor was driving?
Yes.
Okay. Let me show you State's Exhibit X for identification. Recognize this car?
Yes.
What car is that?
The Ford Taurus, Tony Nelson's car.
That's the car you were driving?
Correct.
All right, so you drive to this abandoned house, which you think is on White Road?
Correct.
And do you know any of the streets out there, Torticoe? Do you know? All right, so it's on White Road. So you go down Good Homes Road.
Correct.
And do you remember, you make a right, you make a left? Is it just right there?
We make a off of Good Homes, coming from the direction we were coming. We made a left onto White Road.
Okay. And so that's where the abandoned house is?
Correct.
And you call it an abandoned house. I mean, why do you call it that?
The grass was high. No lights were on, so I just assumed it was an abandoned house.
Just looked like nobody was there.
Correct.
Okay, so when you pull into the abandoned house, it's both cars there, right? I mean, your car and the Malibu, both.
And a third car is already parked there.
Third car? And had you ever seen that car before?
Yes.
And how would you describe that car?
It was a Chevy Impala, older model Chevy Impala, white.
Did you know whose car that was?
Candace's car.
And who's Candace?
His second sister, the second oldest.
Did you know her last name?
I don't think so.
Okay, but it's Candace's car?
Correct.
And you say that's an Impala?
Yes.
Anything distinctive about that car?
Hubcaps, older model,
What color?
white.
Something about hubcaps?
Yeah, I think it's missing hubcaps.
Okay, let me show you what's marked as Exhibit 17 in evidence.
Yes.
That's it?
Yes.
That's the Impala.
Correct.
All right, so you see now this Impala at the abandoned house. So there's now three cars at the abandoned house.
Correct.
And is there anybody with the Impala?
Godfrey and Wallace are already standing near the vehicle.
Okay, so they're Mr. Godfrey
And Wallace.
and Wallace.
Correct.
Mr. Godfrey is Donnell Wallace. Donnell Godfrey.
Darnell Godfrey and Emmanuel Wallace.
All right. And let me show you State's Exhibit AL for identification.
Yes, Godfrey.
That's Godfrey.
Correct.
And State's Exhibit AM for identification.
Yes, it's Emmanuel Wallace.
So what happens now? The three cars and the 5 people are at the abandoned house. What happens then?
Takita car is in the driveway. Candace's car is in the grass, and I'm on the side of the road still with the car running. Okafor gets out, talks to Godfrey and Wallace, and Cherie is now on the driver's side.
Just give me one moment. Okay, so you're out there. Does anybody say anything?
They're conversating. I don't know what they're conversating about, and then I didn't have a phone on me, so Okafor grabs Wallace's phone and then hands me Wallace's phone.
Okay, you say you didn't have a...
My cell phone on me.
Oh, okay. What happened with... Did you have a cell phone at that time?
Yes.
Where was it?
Home.
So you just hadn't thought to bring it with you?
No, I just got up and left.
Do you recall your phone number for your cell phone at that time?
321-217-5312.
Okay. Let me show you State's Exhibit AX for identification, which is some phone records. I don't know if you've seen this before, but this has your name on it.
Yes.
Okay, and here is your, this phone number, is that your phone number?
Yes.
So 321-217-5312.
Correct.
Okay. That was the phone that you still had in your house. You know where it was in your house at the time?
Probably on the charger, on the dresser.
Or you just didn't think to bring it with you?
No.
Because you didn't really know what you were doing?
I just woke up and kind of like disoriented and just got up and left.
Okay, so Mr. Okafor tells you what?
He hands me the phone.
Say it again?
He hands me the phone.
He hands you what?
Wallace's phone.
All right, so he, let's just back up a little bit. He told you to do what?
No, he hands me the phone. He said if I see anything or, call from this phone to his phone.
Okay, so if you see anything.
Correct.
Did he tell you like what kind of thing you would be seeing or what you would be doing or why?
Anything suspicious like a police officer or whatever.
Okay, did you understand you were being some kind of lookout or something?
Yes.
Okay. And so he tells you to call him if you see anything or hear anything.
Correct.
And that's what you tell him, I didn't bring my phone with me.
Correct.
Okay, so he gets another phone, you say?
Emmanuel Wallace's phone.
Emmanuel Wallace's phone. Did you see him actually do that?
Yes.
Do you remember anything about Emmanuel Wallace's phone?
He had like a purple cover around it.
Did you see Emmanuel with that phone on any other occasion?
Yes.
All right, so he hands you, gets the phone from, Mr. Okafor gets the phone from Emmanuel Wallace, hands it to you.
Correct.
And tells you to call if there's police or anything.
Correct.
At this point, did you know what was going on or what was happening?
The slight idea, because prior to, we had prior conversations prior to that about him getting a private attorney.
You thought this might have something to do with getting some money for an attorney?
Correct.
All right. Did you think it was something illegal?
Yes.
And did you think you were going to get something out of it?
Correct.
What were you going to do with that money?
Help finance some my school fees.
Okay, so you thought you were a lookout for something illegal. Is that right? You thought yourself, you thought you were a lookout for something.
Correct.
And something to get money.
Yes.
Okay, so what happens then? You now have Emmanuel Wallace's phone. What happens?
They get the three get in the car. They put
The three? What three are we talking about?
Okafor, Wallace, and Godfrey.
Where do they go?
They pull out.
So they get in the car?
They get in Candace's car.
Candace's car.
Correct.
You know who was driving?
Okafor.
Okay, so Okafor's driving, the other two are passengers in Candace's Audi.
Correct.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Say Candace's car.
Correct.
And that's the one with missing hubcaps?
Correct.
And you, you're still in the Ford Taurus?
Yes.
And what about the other car in Sharia? What happens with that?
She's in Takithia's car.
So she had been a passenger.
She had been a passenger. Now she's the driver.
And does anybody tell you what to do, where to go?
Well, prior to him going in the car, he just said, "Follow me." So
Okafor says that?
yes.
Okay. What happens first?
He pulls out.
Sorry?
Okafor pulls out.
Okay.
Then Sharia follows him. Then I follow her.
So now the three cars are going.
Leaving.
Do you know which direction you go in or what road you're on?
We're headed. We're on White Road now. We're headed towards going deeper into Ocoee. I don't know the actual direction.
Okay, so away from Orlando.
Correct.
Towards
Correct.
And this is on White Road.
Correct.
Okay. What happens then?
There you go. I get caught up at the light. I get caught behind, and then Okafor calls Wallace's phone, tell me to continue to keep coming.
Did you kind of lose them at some point?
Yes.
Okay, is that why the phone call was?
Correct.
Okay. Did you tell them I lost sight of you?
Correct.
This is over, you thought?
Yes.
sorry, yeah, that's my fault. Objection, leading, Your Honor.
All right, well, let me just see if we can get it straight. So you're, one car's following the other down White Road, right?
Correct.
You're the last car.
Correct.
And you say at some point you lost sight of the other two cars. They got too far in front of you?
Correct.
And somebody calls you?
Yes.
And that's Okafor calls you? Is that what you said? Who calls you?
Okafor calls me.
And says what?
He tells me he directs me to continue to go straight to where he's at.
Okay, and do you do that?
Correct.
Did you pass any cars on the way to following Okafor's car?
No.
Did you see Sharia's car at all?
When I finally caught up to Okafor, no, I didn't know where she was.
Okay, I mean, you did see her at some point?
Yes, originally going there, but
Okay, so do you catch up with Candace's Impala?
yes.
Did you see at any point at that point, do you see Sharia's car?
No.
Okay. So you catch up with the Impala, and then what happens?
When I catch up to Candace's car, I follow him, and then we make a left. I don't know the street name, and he tells me to wait right here. We're adjacent to one another, but my car is facing, I guess you would say, north. His car is facing south. And then he says, just stay right here, and if you hear or see anything, call us. And then he pulls off.
Now, for your car to be facing north, do you have to make a U-turn?
Correct.
So you're not facing towards White Road again?
Correct.
Okay. And he tells you what?
If you hear or see anything, just call and let me know.
So this is Okafor's car?
Correct.
Do you stay there?
Yes.
Did you see what was around you at that point?
The only thing that I know is that was around me to my back left, I think was a park, and to my right was like a grassy area.
You wait there.
Correct.
Did you see what happens to the Impala?
It drives off and then takes off, but I don't know which. It goes south, and then would make a left, and after that, I don't know. Correct. Yes.
Do you just wait there by this park?
Yes.
You have your motor running?
Yes.
With your lights on, you think?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay. And you're just sitting there waiting?
Correct.
How long do you think you waited there?
I have no idea. I know some time elapsed, and then I eventually figured, well, it's not worth it, so I leave.
Were you concerned about anything in particular? You say you think it was waiting too long?
Yes, he has an ankle monitor, and he had he told me that every 30 minutes or something, he had like a leeway time with the ankle monitor, and I figured too much time I don't know how much time has went by, but I figured that time was nearly up or already up, so I just leave.
But he told you if he could be away for 30 minutes or so, it'd be all right?
Correct.
The 30 minutes, what did he tell you about 30 minutes?
There's a 30-minute leeway where if he left his house, I guess the ankle monitor thing wouldn't go off.
So as you're sitting there waiting for him, it seems your concern's too long, is that what you're saying?
Correct.
That testimony's already given, so we can read it. Okay, so what do you do now?
I leave.
When you leave, where do you go?
Back onto White Road, I make a right, and then as I'm leaving, I see Sharia parked in the cut, and then I just keep going.
Where do you go?
I go back to the abandoned house.
What about the other cars? You say you passed Sharia's car.
Correct.
Does anybody else come back to the abandoned house?
Eventually, yeah, they come back. Both cars come back. Correct.
What happens then?
Godfrey's driving at this point. Candace's car. He pulls in, and then Sharia pulls in behind him. I'm facing. Yes. Got Candace's car. Correct. Godfrey. Wallace and Okafor. Correct. Correct. Takithia's car. Correct.
So now all three cars are back at the abandoned house, right?
Correct.
What happens then?
Okafor, Wallace, and Godfrey get out the vehicle. Okafor heads to the vehicle I'm in, and Tony's. Okafor heads to the vehicle I'm in, which is the Ford Taurus. He gets in, and then I see Godfrey and Wallace heads towards Takithia's car. Correct. At this point, we leave the abandoned house. As I'm taking him home, he explains to me the real reason he was there. Correct. Correct.
When you, and that's going back to
Headed towards Orlando.
Keithia's house.
Correct.
And do you drop him off at his house?
Yes.
Do you see, and then what do? Do you go back home?
After, at what point you mean? Do I go back home after?
You drop Mr. Okafor off at Keithia's house, right?
Correct.
And then what?
After he explains to me what happened, I hand him Wallace's phone. I said, "Keep me out of this," and then I pull out. As I'm leaving, Sharia is pulling up.
Okay. And what do you do then?
Then I go home.
Did you ever see Mr. Okafor again other than like in the courtroom?
No.
Okay. Did he talk to you at all after that?
Maybe a day or two later.
And what happened then? What was that?
Just asked me to ride his neighborhood, see if I see anything, and I said no.
What do you mean see anything?
Like police or whatever.
Did he ask you to come see if there were police?
In his neighborhood, yes.
Did you do that?
No.
Is that because at that time you knew what had happened?
Correct.
Mr. Cicerone, you were spoken to by the, it took a while for the police to actually talk to you.
Correct.
So for some amount of time after this happened, the police didn't know about you.
Correct.
When they first spoke to you, did you tell them the truth right away?
No.
Did you eventually tell them the truth?
Correct.
Did you get arrested?
Yes.
Do you still have charges, or has that all been, you pled now to, pled guilty to some charges?
I pled guilty to the charge I have now.
Let me show up. Let me show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit R for identification. Ask you to take a look at this.
Yes.
What is this?
My plea agreement.
Okay, and this is your signature and your lawyer's signature and my signature, right?
Correct.
This is the plea agreement that you entered into?
Correct.
Is this the entire agreement that you have, what you have to do in this case, and what might happen to you?
Correct.
Is there anything beyond this, and a secret agreement or anything?
No.
Your Honor, at this time I would offer into evidence State's Exhibit R. Any objection? All right, it'll be admitted as the next number exhibit. State 21. State 21. What's your understanding of what you're required to do as part of this plea agreement?
Testify truthfully, and after I testify truthfully, Judge Kess will determine my punishment.
Who determines whether it's truthful or not?
The judge.
You know what the maximum sentence you can get under this plea agreement?
It's been a while. I think 15.
Okay, let's say 15.
Yeah.
Says the maximum period of incarceration can be up to 15 years in prison.
Correct.
Judge Kess can decide to do that.
Correct.
Decide to do less.
Correct.
That's based on his determination of your truthful testimony.
Correct.
What's your understanding of what could happen to you if you don't tell the truth?
If I'm not mistaken, that plea can be rescinded and I can face up to life.
You talked about Mr. Okafor. You see him here in court.
Yes.
Can you tell us where he is?
Sitting between his counselors, black blazer, and what appears to be a beige dress shirt.
I see 4 people sitting down. Is he sitting down or is he standing up?
He's sitting down.
Which one is he?
In the middle, the black gentleman, darker.
One on the left, one on the...
He's in the middle.
Okay, so
His, yes, yes.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
Okay.
Crawford, any? I'm sorry? Yes, sir, you may. run a little bit into the lunch hour. I'll give you additional time at the end of the lunch hour. I'd like to finish with this witness if we could. Okay, great. Thank you.
Check. Okay. Back on, you told the jury that that morning you left the gas station and you went to a place near 503 Bernardino Drive and you sat somewhere by yourself, correct?
We left the gas station, then went to the abandoned house.
Okay, and you left, after you left the abandoned house, you went somewhere else, correct?
At what point? What do you mean sat by myself?
Well, it's my understanding you told the state in direct examination that allegedly Mr. Okafor told you to go and sit in some park, right?
No.
So what did you do after you left this alleged abandoned house?
Follow Okafor
Okay, and where did you go?
down White Road.
Okay, and where did you end up?
I don't know the street name, but when he called the phone, when he called Wallace's phone and told me to catch up to him, we kept going. I don't know the street. I made a left on, and he tells me it's park right here, and he tells me stay there. At that point, I don't know what road I'm on, what street I'm on.
Okay, but you parked somewhere and you stayed there, right?
Correct.
And you were there alone, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so no one else knows what you were doing that period of time, right?
No.
No one was with you?
No.
And you said that you sat there and you decided on your own when you were going to leave that location, correct?
Yes, as time elapsed, I decided to leave.
Okay. And no one know when you left that spot, right?
No.
In fact, no one can account for anything you did for the period of time that you allege that you stayed in that one spot, right?
No.
Right?
You say no one can account.
For what you were doing during that period of time that you state that you were in that little cleared area by yourself.
Besides me, no.
And I believe you told us that you knew Godfrey and Emmanuel Wallace, right, from playing basketball. Is that true?
Yes. Knew of them.
Pardon me?
I know of them. Like, they're not personal friends.
But you played basketball with them before, right?
Yes.
And you state that after you dropped Mr. Okafor off, that was the last time you spoke to Mr. Okafor, right?
Yes. Physically.
And you've entered into a plea agreement in this case, correct?
Correct.
And you are expecting to say whatever is necessary to have the court honor that agreement.
No.
But you have an idea what you're supposed to say to this courtroom, right?
The truth.
May I have a moment, Your Honor?
You may. Redirect.
Just one question. You said you never spoke to Okafor again after you dropped him off,
He said that I see him. I said physically no, but I spoke to him.
and that was that phone call about come by and see if there's any police.
Correct.
And which you didn't do.
No.
No further questions.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and excuse you for lunch at this point. It is 12 o'clock. I'm going to ask you to be back at 1:30. During the lunch hour, I'm going to caution you, once again, do not do any research, do not speak with anybody, do not let anybody speak with you. If a conversation comes up about are you on this jury, I think you can simply say I'm on a jury and leave it at that. Please remember, there's deputies all around the courthouse and even outside the courthouse. If somebody approaches you, starts to talk about this case, and you tell them, I'm sorry, I can't talk, and they continue to bother you, go immediately to a deputy and let them know that you're on this jury and tell them what's going on in this particular matter. Remember, the attorneys, again, they're nice folks. They just cannot say anything to you, so please don't hold that against them. We will see you back at 1:30, if you will.
All right.
Leave your pads on your chairs. Sue, I'm going to need you to have some testimony, so it's not on page 107, line 22. Read back some testimony. Page 107, line 22. Just a little before that. Mr. Altman's asking questions. You'd stay for a minute.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Altman, I understand that there's a proffer that needs to be done. Let's do that since we're going to be taking this witness downstairs. First of all, to put this in perspective, is dealing with a series of questions that Mr. Altman was asking of this witness, and I'm going to ask our court reporter if she can to read back that section for us, if you would. Sue, unless my notes are wrong, I think it's around 107, starting a little before line 22. Are you able to find it? I think, let me see. No, I'm sorry, go back a little farther than that, if you would. Why don't we start at line 107, line 13. No, that's okay. All right, Mr. Mosley, I think it's Mr. Anaku, but it may have been you, asked for proffer, but tell me what it is about that exchange that suggests your ability to put on some testimony in response to that.
Do you mind if I respond to that?
As long as one of you is, I can't have both of you do it.
Your Honor, first of all, the witness's statement that after he explained to me what happened, I handed him Wallace's phone, which was a reference to shot the girl or shot at the girl. The witnesses also testified that Mr. Okafor said that he shot or shot at the girl and then she fell. And also testified that Don Godfrey shot one or both boys and then they fell. Because if it's true, Mr. Okafor is implicating himself as well as Mr. Godfrey, it is admissible as a statement against interest. It is also admissible simply as a valid cross-examination to get the whole story out and not just the parts of it that the state wants. I'm also very concerned because I think there's some Eighth Amendment implications here as well. Of course, as you know, this is a death penalty case. Death penalty was waived against the two co-defendants by the state, voluntarily waived prior to trial without any kind of agreement. And therefore, the state has to show, I believe, and I will be prepared to argue, that the state has to show that Mr. Okafor was more culpable in this matter than the two co-defendants. There's a proportionality issue there. That, I'm guessing, is why they're actually hiding this testimony, is to try to support their theory. This witness, I believe, is the only one who does have any testimony about how the shooting actually occurred, who shot whom. As we know from the two surviving victims, that is very inconclusive. So the statement, the state opened the door to it.
Okay, you've said that twice, once at sidebar and now. I've read now this statement over, this questions that were asked 3 times. Show me how that door is opened.
Well, they asked what happened next, and he said...
That's all they asked.
Yes, and then the witness said after he explained to you what happened, I handed him all his phone. That was a response to that question.
By saying, quote, then what, unquote, that's opening the door? That was the question. Then what? 2 words.
Right, and he knew, the state presumably knew what happened next. I mean, it's been in the prior, the deposition and the proffer that Mr. Okafor told him what happened.
Okay. Mr. Altman, response.
I don't know if any response is really required. Certainly didn't elicit any testimony about what Mr. Okafor told him. This witness was not called for any purpose to say what happened in the house. He doesn't know what happened in the house. He doesn't even know that they went to a house. His testimony was about what he has personal knowledge of, not about any statement. As far as any declaration against interest, this does not qualify. Rule 804, sub 2, sub C. The declarant has to be unavailable, which he is not. Certainly Mr. Okafor is available to testify. If he wishes to testify in this case about what happened in that house, he is certainly free to do so, but he is hardly unavailable. He's sitting right at counsel table. And this is simply a self-serving hearsay statement. It cannot be offered by the defendant. It can only be offered against the defendant. Beyond that, I mean, even if it were a statement against interest that could be admitted, and for I've already explained several reasons why it can't be, this is really intended to exculpate him from the death penalty by trying to say somebody else was the killer rather than him. And such a statement would not be admissible unless corroborating circumstances show the trustworthiness of the statement under the rule, which certainly isn't the case. There's nothing to corroborate this statement. So this is simply naked hearsay, self-serving statement by the defendant. Nothing was elicited by the state about what Mr. Okafor told him, and it is clearly inadmissible.
Okay. You may make your proffer if you want.
May I briefly respond?
You briefly can, but...
I'm really concerned that the state offered this witness in this case because of supposedly what we knew about the actual event we were talking about, the murder. sense, they're even vouching for his truthfulness because they have entered a plea agreement with him where he is required to tell the truth. And it has to be consistent with his prior testimony, which is, as I have described it. And I'm frankly shocked. It's just completely unfair. I think it's an Eighth Amendment, Sixth Amendment, Fifth Amendment, Fourth Amendment violation for them to offer this witness in any other context. If this were not a death penalty case, it's inconceivable that they would not offer an admission by the defendant that he was in the house, firing shots, and watching his co-defendant kill somebody. I don't, it just cannot be permitted.
You may proffer the testimony.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Start of the proffer.
Sir, did, just for the record, state your name one more time.
Nestle Cicero.
Did Mr. Okafor ever tell you about what happened in the house at the time of the shooting?
His account, yes.
What did he tell you?
His account, yes.
What did he tell you?
He told me that he shot at the girl, and then Godfrey shot at the guys or guys. I don't quite remember how it was. And Wallace didn't do anything.
Okay. So Mr. Okafor told you he shot at the girl.
Correct.
And then did he tell you that she then fell down?
Yes.
And he told you that he shot at, or that Mr. Godfrey shot at one or both of the boys?
Correct.
Okay. That's all I have, Your Honor.
Thank you. Do you have anything on the proffer, Mr. Altman? No, Your Honor. Okay, that'll complete the proffer. All right, folks, we'll be in recess until after lunch. Thank you. He can go down, yes. 1:30. Actually, yeah, 1:30, 1:45 if you want. We've used up 15 minutes here. Yeah, 1:45. Sue, I was actually able to use this thing to mark it and get back to it. First time I've done it. First time, not I've marked it, first time I was able to get back to it.